We're going to be going from the Santa Rosa, or yeah, Sonoma County, Charles M. Schulz Airport, and we're going to be going to Palo Alto, and I do believe that we can do an RNAV approach. What I'm doing is I'm looking at the low altitude, the world low charts here, and when you look at this, check this out. You got a little circle right here. Guess what that circle is? It's a baseball game. That's going to be starting in what is it saying? We'll be live in 1 hour and 38 minutes. So there's going to be a baseball game going on, but we probably won't be able to see that from my Microsoft Flight Simulator. But I thought that was pretty cool. There's a baseball game. There's several charts here. There's the San Francisco Fly, and then there is the San Francisco TAC, and then San Francisco area, and then just San Francisco, and that's the whole San Francisco general area right there. And then en route L2, en route L3, world VR, world low, and world high en route H3. But world low, we can look at our minimum altitudes here. Taking off, we're going to be going to 35. Well, it says the minimum altitude is 3,500, and 3,500 also with a glide slope, or with a GPS. And 3,700 here, 3,500, 3,000 minimum, and then 4,000, 3,000 minimum. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and set our plane to 4,000 feet, and we're going to be using these waypoints right here. And so this is Rosa. This is taking off right there, and then we're going to be taking off. Now where's Rosa at? Okay, there's Pi 3. There's Pi somewhere in there, right there. There's, well, anyway, I guess what I did is I put in the this route right here, the Charlie 8. Somebody favorited it. I don't know what the heart stands for. I guess somebody favored it. There's 3 routes. There's the most economical, which is that one there, and then there is this one here, and this is pretty much the same route that we've had, but we're going to choose this route here, and it's Rosa and then Pi 3. So let's get to our plane. Enough talking. So looking here, I'm going to go ahead and set our predetermine our altitude to 4,000 feet. We'll assign that to 4,000 feet, and we'll build our flight plan. So flight plan right here. I turn this knob here. Let's see. Flight plan, and turn this knob. Hello. Push the button. Push the button. Turn this knob here. Turn this knob. And then we put in KSTS. Which is one I didn't write it down real quick. I wanted to look real quick. KPAO. KPAO. So now we'll go KSTS. I'm going to use the Microsoft keyboard. You can usually, you can do the characters there and all that, but it's easier just to use the Microsoft keyboard, your computer keyboard. So you press this button here, light it up, and then you can type in KSTS, and then you press that button again, and then you can enter it. And I'm going to go ahead and choose runway. I believe it's going to be runway 32. I'm going to say none. Maybe they'll assign me a different runway. I don't know. But and then en route we have Rosa. That's Romeo Oscar Zulu Alpha. And that's Santa Rosa. And then we will enter that. And then the next one is Papa Yankee Echo. There's Point Reyes. And then we'll enter that. And then our destination will be Kilo Papa Alpha Oscar, and that'd be the Palo Alto. And then we'll enter that, and runway 9. So 4,000 feet will be our destination. Now I believe, well anyway, we'll get to that. So we'll go ahead and press enter. I want to go ahead and put all my frequencies in now. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight this. And then so for my secondary radio here, I'm going to go ahead and push the button here. And that brings it to the secondary radio. I want the okay, so there is no automatic terminal. There's a CTAF. So there's no other frequencies other than the CTAF. So apparently, now looking at this right here, when we look at that, the weather station is 350. The direction of the wind is 350 at 12 knots. If you look at right under station there, I can't point to it because when I try to point to it, it goes away. But anyway, I can't point to it with my mouse. But you see KPAO 231847 Zulu. And I'm not sure what all those numbers are, but I do know that that second number is the direction of the wind and then the knots. So it's 350 coming in at 350 at 12 knots. And so what I'm going to do there is at Palo Alto there's an RPS 31. So if it's coming in at 350, it'll be the runway 31 that we would use. And let me look at that again. So we got runway 31, and then there's DoCal at 4,500 feet, and then there's ACOS Alpha Charlie Hotel Oscar Zulu at 3,500 feet. You got the initial fix, and then you have ACOS. So since this is 4,500 feet, why don't we go ahead and climb just to 4,500 feet. We'll do a procedure here, select approach, and that would be RNAV, LNAV, plus vertical. So we'll enter there, and then let's see, let's look at those again. There's Credo, and then there's Sapid. So Credo, we'll be coming in actually from the ocean. So let's choose Sapid, or Sierra Alpha Papa India Delta. And so we'll go ahead and choose Sapid and press enter. Enter. Okay, enter. Okay, let's just bring that all the way down to load that. So 4,800 feet, that already changed our altitude to 4,800 feet. So Sapid would be 4,800 feet, and then we'll go ahead and now assign our altitude. We might as well just fly to 4,800 feet. So we'll go ahead and go 4,800 feet, and I believe that we're all set. We got our, let's turn on our pitot heat. Our pitot heat is on, all of our lights are on. I already set my altimeter, so I'm going to go ahead and contact ground, and then we're going to be departing to the south.
Santa Rosa ground, Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie with Echo request taxi for takeoff south departure.
With Echo, that means I would have listened to my automatic terminal information service. But we're going to 3-2.
Contact tower on 118.5 when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway tree 2 using taxiway
Okay,
Alpha
guys,
Cessna 7
watch out.
Charlie
I'm
Charlie.
turning around. Oh, before we do that, let's release the brake. Okay, I want to get situated here. Look left. There we go. Look left. Alrighty. I'm going to go Shift P, and this guy right here, this friendly guy right there, he's going to go right underneath my propeller. I think in real life they don't push back with the plane. I don't think they would push back with the plane with the propeller going. Right? Or maybe it's designed to do that. But at any rate, he's getting pretty close there to that propeller. So, yeah, he's a good guy. Well, I'm going to hit, he's not really pushing me back. Anyway, here we go. There we go. Thank you very much. And then we will hit, and there's a cop car over there. I bet you he's about ready to pull me over. Shift P again, and then he'll go away. Thanks a lot, mister. Appreciate it. So I'm going to go ahead while he's doing that. We'll go ahead and check everything. Looks like everything's all good. Good to go. And then here we go. I'm going to go ahead and rev it up. I got full rich. I'm going to follow these blue arrows here. Beautiful weather here in California at the Charles M. Schulz Airport. Now that cop is still, okay, that's not a cop. All right. Well, he's still there though. What's going on? What are you doing there? I don't want to hit your truck. Old Microsoft Flight Simulator used to do that too. They used to put a car there or whatever. And I think in the old, see in this version of Microsoft Flight Simulator, I can run right through that truck and it won't bust up the plane. But I think, if I recall correctly, the old one, it would bust up your plane. So we have our altimeter set correctly. This particular airport is 120 feet in elevation. So we are now at 32 and we are ready for takeoff. Let me go ahead and do a full stop right here, and then look left, look right. There is somebody coming up there, or maybe they're on the ground. It's 154 feet, so they're on the ground. So we'll go ahead and let's talk to the tower. And then request takeoff clearance.
Santa Rosa Tower Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie ready for departure to the south at runway tree 2.
Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie altimeter 29.89 wind tree for
29.89.
Departure to the south approved. Cleared for takeoff runway tree 2.
Cleared for takeoff runway tree 2 Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie.
And here we go. You line up here. Airspeed is alive. Rotate, gentle pullback there. About 7. Autopilot. One thing I didn't do is I didn't synchronize my heading. Flight level change, heading. So we got our flight level changed about 80 right here, and we're just going to fly our heading right now.
Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie continue for south departure.
South departure. So we will go ahead and turn her around.
Santa Rosa Tower Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie continue for south departure.
So what I want to do while I'm turning around you can shift and then roll your mouse button, it goes faster. And I'm going to go ahead and now tap in my nav, and it looks like the nav, the GPS, it looks like the nav took over. So this is the Charlie Brown Airport, Santa Rosa, California. Charlie Brown Airport, Charles M. Schulz Airport. And we're doing a steady climb now. I'm going to go ahead and bring it down. I'm going to try to bring down the knots right there to about 75, and I think that will give us the best rate of climb. You have the Y, the G, the X, and the R. And the Y is the best rate of climb, the G is the best glide speed, the X is the best angle of climb, and the R is rotation speed. And of course we did rotate, we tried, we were going a little faster than the rotation speed when we rotated, but that's fine. Don't want to go too slow. So we're climbing to 4,800 feet. Looking at our flight plan here.
Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie, leaving my airspace, frequency change approved.
We're going to go over the ocean, so frequency.
Santa Rosa Tower, Cessna November Charlie, 77 Charlie Charlie, frequency change.
And I'm going to go ahead and request flight following.
Oakland Center, Cessna
This
November
makes it
Charlie,
interesting
77
whenever you
Charlie
make,
Charlie is
do
type Cessna Skyhawk 2
flight
miles
following.
south of Santa Rosa, 2,700 feet. Request flight following.
Cessna November Charlie, 77 Charlie Charlie, Oakland Center. Squawk 3727.
So you do the transponder here, 3727. Isn't that what she said? 3727. That's what I put in.
Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie, did you hear my last transmission?
Oakland Center, Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie, say again please.
Cessna November Charlie, 77 Charlie Charlie, Oakland Center. Squawk 3727.
27. Now why isn't it going in?
Squawk 3727 Cessna 7
Usually
Charlie
whenever
Charlie.
I do that, she automatically responds. And now I've lost ATC. Okay, so with Microsoft Flight Simulator, here's another example of a bug, because I don't have ATC now. I can't even contact an airport now. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to contact. I lost all contact right there. I put in 3727, it didn't respond, and when I responded, I've lost it now. I've lost communication with ATC or any airport. I can't. How do I do that? Now let me go ahead and go to my communications there and just type in some random number there, and then we'll go ahead and go out of it and then see if we can't. Okay, contact Oakland Center, and then nothing. Okay, so for this example of Microsoft Flight Simulator, we are going to not have ATC. We are tuned, so we'll probably maybe hear some transmissions between other planes, but there's anyway. She didn't give me a radar contact answer. Kind of frustrating when things don't go right, but anyway, we're bringing back our mixture now. If you look at this right here, we want to bring the fuel flow. We are now at altitude, and I backed off my mixture and my throttle. So I do believe that we're going to start getting into some photogrammetry here.
United 7 tree descend and maintain flight level 260. Keep speed not above 280 knots.
So I think that Microsoft Flight Simulator still needs to work on the ATC. What I was doing is I was trying to enter the transponder there. I did enter the transponder. Let me go ahead and do this and see if they call me. I got it now at 1200.
United 7 tree descend and maintain flight level 250. Keep speed not above 280 knots.
And what was it? It was 4727? 3727. Let's try that again. Code 3727. And this should go green. Now, am I doing something wrong? Do I have something not on here? I did. Yeah. I did. I thought this would be green. I thought. Anyway, I'm speculating now. I got suspend here. I'm not sure what that is. I don't want to suspend anything.
Alaska 1321, you are 13 miles north. Climb and maintain 12,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 32 approach via Sierra Golf Delta transition. Cleared to Sierra Golf Delta.
Anyway, I don't have ATC.
Climb and maintain 12,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 32 approach.
I don't know how to
Sierra
contact.
Golf Delta transition. Cleared to Sierra Golf Delta, Alaska 1321.
ATC. But we're about ready to fly towards San Francisco. And all of this right here is once we go to Papa Yankee Echo, we're going to be flying near San Francisco. I'm going to go ahead. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and go into our drone here.
Alaska 1321 descend and maintain 7,000 feet.
Now,
Descend and maintain 7,000 feet. Alaska 1321. United 7 tree climb and maintain flight level.
so we hear all the other communication going on, but we can't communicate. It's pretty cool though, whenever you can do some sightseeing with the drone. Now going back into our plane here, I'm going to go ahead and what was it on the, let's see if we can do this.
Alaska 1321, contact Oakland Center on 127.8.
Destination?
Good day.
No? KPAO.
Oakland Center envoy 4144 is at 1,300 feet, climbing 13,000 feet. Envoy 4144 Oakland Center.
Wanting the frequencies again, you know, on but I guess I can't.
For Alaska 1321.
I'm wanting to get the frequencies for KPAO. And since I loaded that,
United 733.
and it says destination, I'm trying to get the frequencies there, and I'm not seeing it. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the flight plan here. I'm going to do menu.
Going to 127.8 United 733.
Flight plan. Menu. Remove approach. Enter. Okay. Now, my destination is KPAO. Enter. Enter. Clear. Clear. Okay. Enter. Now, destination. KPAO. Enter. Now. None. Enter. Bring this down. Now I get the frequency right there. That's what I was after. So I want, this is your common traffic advisory frequency. That's what CTAF stands for. And so I'm going to go ahead and put that in the radio, and to press enter, and I put it in standby right there. That's 11860, and I put it in standby, and then we'll go ahead and see now. Tune to Oakland Center. So anyway, I have that as the backup now, but I still don't, I'm not able to communicate. I thought maybe that would get me the opportunity to communicate. So in the Microsoft Flight Simulator world, I do not have ATC. For whatever reason, I lost the ability to communicate to Oakland Center or to the approach, or the frequency for. Okay, press enter. Press for Kilo Papa Alpha Oscar. So now what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and put in that procedure again. And that was LNAV, and then we wanted to do the SAPID. So we'll press enter, and we'll go ahead and load. So we're all good there. Just about ready to go over the ocean there. We are now at Papa Alpha Yankee, making our turn. There's a little bit of a cloud bank there along the coast, and that's common. It's very common along San Francisco to be a cloud bank. And we were looking at that chart, we were looking at those minimum altitudes, and here's why. Is because we're going to be going over some mountains there. So we can hear, we are tuned to Oakland approach. And I guess maybe, whenever we get out of range there to the one frequency to the next, maybe they'll say, maybe they'll tell me to go to the next frequency. Back to our drone.
Oakland Center, United 6902 is at flight level 225, climbing flight level 240.
So we got UAL 869 and United Airlines 869 in the air there. I like to look at a program. It's an app that you can download, or you can look it up online as well. It's called Flight Radar 24, and you can look up where these planes are coming from. And so we got UAL 869 UAL 869, And that is a plane that is going from San Francisco to Hong Kong. It's a Boeing 777-300, and it's on its way out. So that plane right there will be arriving in Hong Kong in about, see the duration of the flight there. Show on map. Well, it doesn't have the duration yet, but it's probably about a 15-hour flight. Yeah, it is a 15-hour flight. We did that back in 2001. We flew on an Airbus A340, and we went from San Francisco to Hong Kong, and it was the longest flight I've ever been on, and it was a 15-hour flight. And that one right there is United Airlines that is on its way out. And so it's going to be about a 15-hour flight, mostly over ocean. It's heading north. It's going to hit the southern tip of the Aleutian Islands, and then kind of like the southern tip of Kamchatka, and then fly over Japan, and then parts of China, like the west coast or the east coast of China, and then land in Hong Kong. We'll go back into our plane here. How are we doing here? We have – 42 nautical miles. So really, this flight plan here, because I did the RNAV approach, it changed. Instead of going way out into the ocean, we're going to be flying like right over the San Francisco area. We'll take a look at that. Maybe even see the Golden Gate Bridge. But these are airspaces here, and of course, in real life, you would contact and all that. But I don't have ATC for this flight. Not available. Got a little bit of cloud buildup here along the coast. You have the cooler temperatures there from the ocean clashing with the warmer temperatures in the land. Of course, the further east you go, the more you get into the drier, arid part of California, the desert. And then as a result, you have condensation that builds up. So what I'm going to do, apparently, without ATC, I'm just going to go ahead and follow the flight plan all the way down to the RNAV approach. I don't have any communication, so unless it some kind of way comes back, but we'll be doing the RNAV approach GPS 31. So it's all GPS mode. We're not going to be switching the course deviation indicator to the localizer. Be all GPS. Back off on the prop just a little bit, into the yellow a little bit. Ideally, you want to keep this right here in the green, or maybe at the top of the green. Probably in real life, like right maybe in the middle of the green, but you know, when you have it like at the top of the green, I would think it would be just a little faster. We have a 19 knot tailwind. And so now looking at our flight plan here, we're going to Sierra Alpha Papa India Delta. So we can push this right here. This is us right here. This is the plane. And then we got okay, so that's what happened is whenever I put in KPAO to look at the frequencies, because that was gone when I did that, it had me. It's having us going to KPAO first and then SAPID, and that's why the flight path changed. But I'm going to go ahead and keep it in there because this is, you know, flying right over San Francisco, so it'll be a little sightseeing tour, and it probably lengthened our flight a little bit. But anyway, going back here, we got the initial approach fix at 4,800, and then you got Yerkes at 4,800, and then DoCal at 4,500, and then ACOS at 3,500, and then the final approach fix will be 2,200, and then of course you got the airport there. So since it's 2,200 is the final approach fix flight plan, I'm going to go ahead and assign our altitude to 2,200. And we're not going to go there, but we'll assign it to 2,200. And then we can do our VNAV, and that loads our VNAV. I think that the approach hold is going to, well anyway, the approach mode is going to manage our altitude as well, but it doesn't hurt putting in your VNAV right there. So check it again, 2,200, yes. So anyway, here we are with our sightseeing tour. We are now just about over San Francisco. See the Golden Gate Bridge there. Let's go ahead and go into our drone here. And there's San Francisco. I've been under the San Francisco Bridge several times. One time in 1983, we went underneath the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge with the USS Kitty Hawk. I was in the Navy, and at the same time ahead of us was the USS Enterprise, and you can see the big box there, and both of us went underneath the Golden Gate Bridge. First the Enterprise and then us. And then of course this right here is San Francisco, and Alcatraz is here somewhere. Where's Alcatraz at? Alcatraz. Okay, there's Alcatraz. Well, I was just flying right over it. So there's Alcatraz. And then there's San Francisco. And then let's go ahead and go back into our plane and look at it from the air. Starting to read in a lot of data, so it's starting to, maybe I have the settings too high, but I like ultra settings. But it has a tendency to, after it reads in the data, it's okay, but when it initially reads in the data, it has a tendency to hesitate just a little bit. But and there's San Francisco, the Golden Gate Bridge. And the San Francisco Giants are having the New York Mets come to town. And that's going to be starting, I think, in about probably less than an hour now. How about them Giants? It's real-time weather, so, and this is typically the case in San Francisco. You got like, you know, a cloud hanging over San Francisco sometimes because of the ocean. And if you look at the ocean there, it's just even more of a cloud because of the condensation and whatnot. Go ahead and take a look over here. And the other thing too that's taking up a lot of data are those real-time planes. Where this is a San Francisco airport, KSFO, and a ton of planes flying out. Another United Airline 871. Let's find out where that one's going. United Airline 871. UAL 871. And that one going to Taipei, Taiwan. So that one's on it's an Airbus. It even says Airbus going to Taipei. There, I believe that's the Oakland Bay Bridge there. Football field down there. Probably, I think. Don't know which football field that is. It might be a college. There's another. Look at that one. Oh, is that the home? Is that the home of the Giants? No, that's a football field there. Well, I have to do my research. I'm trying to remember what those, which football fields, what football field that belongs to, whether it's a college or whatnot. I don't know if it's the NFL. Pretty big parking lot there. Of course, this right here, we'll go ahead and explore with the drone a little bit here. This obviously is an area that belongs to the military. And that is the USS Hornet. Is it the Hornet? Number 12? I'm not sure. I'll have to research that too. There's a jet. Look at that. Alrighty. Come on, plane here. And we are avoiding the airport there, but we are definitely in airspace. But I don't have any communication. But let's go ahead and zoom in. All of this blue area right there. This would be a situation. There's a plane right there coming in straight ahead toward us. But this would be a situation where if you did this without authorization, you'd be they'd be giving you an 800 number to call. Or maybe not an 800 number, but you'd be given a number to call the FAA and explain to them why you flew through airspace without permission. Especially in this area, because I requested flight following, but it didn't let me do it for whatever reason. But it's all fun. That one right there is CYVR, so that one came in from what is that, CYVR in that Vancouver? United Airlines, and obviously you can see the altitude decreasing on it, so it's coming in for a landing. And so that's UAL 733. And that is, that came in from Vancouver. And that is a 737 924 ER. It's United Airlines. Coming in from Vancouver and just about ready to land in San Francisco, and the one behind it, that's UAL 2349. So UAL 2349. And that one is coming in from MRLB. That's coming in from, where's that coming in from? It's coming in from South America, from Costa Rica. There's another one there. Oh, there's a ton of them there. FDY 3034. FDY 3034. That one is Surfair. That's a Pilatus PC-12. That's coming from San Carlos to Santa Barbara. That's going to Santa Barbara. And then N421LH, November 421 Lima Hotel. That one is, that one's a KDBT. That one's on the ground actually. But that is a Cessna 421C Golden Eagle. It's a twin engine turboprop. UAL 195. EDNM UAL 195. UAL 195. That one came in from Munich. München? It says EDDM. I don't think that's Munich, is it? Anyway, it's a 777. I'm getting on Flight Radar 24 coming in from Munich, but EDDM is, that's the Munich airport. Okay. So that one's coming in all the way from Germany. Deutschland. And that one, UAL 195. What equipment do they have? That's the Star Alliance. Star Alliance Boeing 777. And so they're coming in from a long way there. Just about ready to arrive in San Francisco, all the way from Munich, München. That's how you say Munich in German. München. And there's a DAL, Delta Airlines. And this is a DAL 2267. So DAL 2267. And that one is, that's just coming from Los Angeles, not very far away. And that one is a, let's see what kind of plane that is. That's an Airbus. Airbus A319 flying there from Los Angeles. That's why I like lighting up these planes. These are real-time planes, and I like finding out where they're coming and coming from and where they're going. I do that with real planes too, with Flight Radar 24. I see a plane fly overhead, and I'll look it up. Check out that landscape there. Got a few baseball fields. You realize whenever you're flying how many baseball fields there are in the United States. Just baseball fields. There's 2 of them right there. You see them all over the place. There's another one there. And then probably that's a golf course right there. And then probably over there in that greenery there, there's another baseball field right there. Okay, we are now we are now going to our initial approach fix. We just flew over the airport that we're going to be landing at. That's our airport right there. We're going to be landing there. And of course, let me go with the drone here. I'm going to bring the drone back to where we are here. And then we can look real quickly at our... Boy, it's really trying to read all kinds of data here. Really putting my computer to the test here. So we do F6 right here, and then we can go down, and this is all photogrammetry data too. So it's really I'm maximizing the power. So this right here is runway 31. That's the runway that we're going to be landing at right there. And hopefully the computer power, will, you know, a lot of this after it's loaded it's fine, but I mean we are doing a lot of data here, and but anyway, this is the runway that we're going to land at. So back to the plane and back inside. Now, there's a reason why it's 4,800 feet, the initial approach fix there, and that's because look at the terrain. So you got the terrain. We'll go to Sierra Alpha Papa India Delta, and we'll make our turn to Yerkes, and all at 4,500 feet. And then 4,800 feet, and then Dokal at 45, and then Ikaz at 3,500, and Putby, our final approach fix, at 2,200. And again, I assigned my altitude to 2,200, and I loaded my VNAV, so we should do our descents automatically. And then whenever we are on our closer, whenever we're on path here, on the straight line here, I guess that would be with Putby, because it does change a little bit. You know, the course changes a little bit. But anyway, we're gonna we will have our approach loaded as well, but I didn't turn that on yet. I'm not loading that quite yet. So I do believe that's still photogrammetry data there. Southwest Airlines 4621. That one's coming in from Phoenix and going to San Jose. And that is a 737. And in UAL 2488, United Airlines 2488. That one's going from San Jose on its way to Denver. So they're climbing right now. They even show you the registration number. The registration number for that plane is November 27246. And you know what's cool is on YouTube, a lot of times when you see a plane, and I see it on YouTube or on Flight Radar 24, and I can type in November 27246, and there's somebody out there that did plane spotting on there, and you'll see that plane somewhere coming in for a landing on YouTube. So many videos uploaded to YouTube now. So we are now in a little bit higher elevation. I don't think we have to worry about IMC. I think all of that is just clouds, lower level clouds. So we won't have to worry about any instrument meteorological conditions. But we do have minimum altitudes here. And of course we don't want to be any lower than what we are now. We are now 4.4 nautical miles, about a minute and 54 seconds from our initial approach fix. Fuel, I only had a half a tank when we left, but we got plenty of fuel. We're going to do our turnaround here. And here we go. I've never flown in a Cessna 172. I've flown in a Piper Cherokee, and I've flown in, the smallest jet I've ever flown in was a T-39 Saberliner. And I was looking up the T-39 Saberliner, and I saw a name that came up, a very famous aviator. His name was Bob Hoover, and he did a lot of stunts. He even with a T-39, but with another type of plane, I can't remember right now, but in a future video I'd like to talk more about that, and we'll bring up a video about the stunts that he did. It was a I can't remember the plane. So from an early age, Bob Hoover had a love for aviation, soloing on his 16th birthday. Anyway, he there's a big story on him. I'm not going to read it all, but let's see if I can. There's a thing about it on. Look up Bob Hoover. Look up Bob Hoover on the internet, on YouTube. You'll see Bob Hoover. And I'm trying to think of that plane that he. Okay, now we are at top of descent. Right now, we are starting to descend. I'm trying to think of that plane that he really specialized in. He got shot down over Germany and was in Germany for about 9 months, and he commandeered a Focke-Wulf 190. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and load approach, and so we have our glide path loaded now. So we do have another top of descent right there, or no, we still have the top of descent is right here at our next waypoint at Docal. But he took a F-190. He came across. He was on foot with another guy, and he came across a field with airplanes, and most of them were all, blown up or whatever. It was toward the end of the war, but there was one that he commandeered that was flyable, and he flew it to. I believe he flew it to Holland. So the Shrike Commander. That's the name of the plane that he did a lot of stunts with, and the stunts. Some of the stunts. One of the stunts was doing a barrel roll while pouring a tea into a glass, and you wouldn't believe it's possible, but it's all on video. So yeah, check that out whenever you get a chance on YouTube. Just type in Bob Hoover and then type in Shrike Commander. What an aviator. What an aviator he was. But he was also involved with the T-39 Saberliner. And when I was much younger, in the Navy, me and a buddy of mine, a guy named Mo, we were doing MAC flights. And our first MAC flight was a C-141 Starlifter, and our destination was Ohio. And they flew us out to Bergstrom Air Force Base in Austin, Texas. And we flew out. We were there in Austin, Texas for a couple of days. We didn't know when the next plane was going to fly out. And they said, hey, there's a T-39. It's got a couple of, it was a general and another dignitary, I don't know, some guy in a suit. And just me and Mo. We had to be in our dress whites. And we flew on that T-39 to Virginia. And so we didn't know whether we were going to be in Virginia for a couple of more days or whatnot. And so we were there for just an hour or two, and they said, hey, there's another T-39. It's going to be flying over to LaGuardia over in New York to pick up a general and then going to Ohio. And that's what our destination was. Would you guys like to do that? And they said, yeah. And so it was just me and Mo and the pilot and the co-pilot on our way from Virginia to New York. And the co-pilot even got up and served us coffee. That was pretty cool. I thought that was really neat. And he's the one that landed the plane. He was the pilot in command. And and then we got out, we were able to stretch our legs, use the restroom and whatnot, and then got the general came on there, and then another Air Force guy. And then we flew from LaGuardia to Ohio, and the general was telling us that he was on some low bombing runs there. So we are now on our vertical path to 2,200 feet, and our glide path is not loaded or is not active yet, but it is loaded. So we do have our RNAV approach going good here. We have about an 11 knot headwind, and our destination is straight ahead and I don't have any communication, so I'm gonna, you know, what I would do is I would say Kilo Papa Alpha Oscar Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie, coming in for a landing. I am 2.1 nautical miles from Putney. Final approach fits. So we're two nautical miles away from the final approach fix there, and I do believe it's that at that point when our glide path will activate. We're getting down to 2200. I'm going to go ahead and make full rich now on our mixture. We're at 2200, and there's the diamond, and then now the glide path is active. Kilo Papa Alpha Oscar Cessna 172 November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie on final, runway 31 to land. That's real photogrammetry there. Those are the real buildings there. Speaking of baseball fields, there's a couple of more. So I'm going to go ahead and back off now on the power. Flaps 1. We have a little bit of about 11 knot crosswind. Flaps 2. Keep it around. You can see our runway is kind of askew a little bit. We're on. Let's look at this straight on here. You can really see it here too, that our plane is being pushed right now, and it's a little bit less of a wind here. But our runway is going that way, and so we're kind of crabbing in a little bit. But as we're getting closer to the ground, the wind isn't quite as severe. We have 6 knot wind at 331. Zoom in a little bit here. I got full flaps. Best glide speed. Bring up the speed a little bit. I have 2 red and 2 white. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I have the autopilot off. It's a pretty hefty wind there. trying to keep too red. Rather be too high than too low. Set the idle. Flare. Look at that windsock. Okay, flaps up. Wonder if I have my power or my ATC now. I'm clear of the
Palo Alto
runway.
traffic Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie is
But
clear
that
of the
wind is
runway.
really pushing me around. I'm having a. I got full left rudder right here. I'm not turning left. Well, that was a little sightseeing tour there of San Francisco. The system didn't act too badly. It paginated it a little bit, you know, it was a little sluggish, but not too bad. Some of those really high density areas, when San Francisco, it has the photogrammetry, but it also has all of the live flights going on as well, and there's a ton of planes in San Francisco. So, well, there's a guy there. Watch it, guy. Now I'm going to go ahead and try to go around this van. I don't want to crash into that building. Well, why is that van parked there? You know you're not supposed to park there. Come on. You know there's planes here, right? Got right rudder here.
Traffic generic November 9er,
Now I got my ATC back, or my communications back. So another bug there, Microsoft Flight Simulator, if you ever, any of you guys there ever watch this. I'm trying. I got my right rudder. I'm getting pushed by the wind. Oh, that's just, I'm getting pushed around here. But anyway, let's go inside the plane here. And we'll go ahead and put our brake on. We'll go ahead and shut everything off here. And watch this guy disappear. Let me go ahead and bring this over here. Watch this guy here. He's going to disappear. Watch this. Oh, what happened to him? That guy's still there. And that's another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator over in San Francisco. To Palo Alto. Have a good day, everyone.